she seemed like one to me. I looked at the meager stack of chips in front of me and sighed. I wasn't going to be able to pay rent next month if I didn't quit soon. Mel, unless I want to live on the streets of Vegas, I'm gonna have to call it a night. I think I lost like $500 just now. Saying the words aloud made my stomach turn. I wasn't a gambler. I wasn't a risk taker. It was only when I listened to my best friend that I stepped outside of my comfort zone and took chances. Hence the reason I was here in the first place. She looked away from her cards and winked. I gotcha. No way. You've had me all week. I'm going to be paying you back for this trip until Christmas. She took a swig of her wine. It's my 30th birthday. That literally only happens once. And we've spent the last year working our asses off. She eyed me with a sly smile. When was the last time you did anything that wasn't work-related? I thought hard. There was that one time. Nope, that was a medical conference. There was also that time we went to the... Shit, we were only there because I had a meeting the next morning. Okay, 3 years ago Damn it. Was 3 years ago really the only argument I had? Wow, I really needed to get out more. Fine, I won't argue anymore. Her face split wide and she swayed toward me to whisper, That's my girl. Now don't be obvious, but there is a fucking hottie at the table across from us who has been eyeing you since we sat down. I leaned back, my eyes cutting to the craps table. There were 5 men crowded around, cheering, as Adonis himself threw the dice. They landed, rolling to a stop, and from the reactions of his friends around him, they were the numbers he'd been hoping for. As the guys continued to cheer and clap him on the shoulder, his eyes left the table and crossed the space between us, colliding with mine. As though I had actually been in a traffic accident, the air that had just a mere second earlier been occupying my lungs whooshed out, leaving me breathless. And then, like the cool and collected woman I was, I died. On the spot. Because Mel's description of fucking hottie wasn't enough to describe the man when a slow smile curled his perfect lips. He had the most handsome face I'd ever seen. All sharp angles and chiseled lines. His hair was dark and tousled, and his eyes were such a light blue that even from across the room I could see were framed by thick lashes. I blinked and tried to pull myself out of the trance, but I couldn't stop staring at his dimples that led into a set of the fullest lips I'd ever wanted to feel on my face. Yes, Mel hissed beside me. I think he's looking at you, I said out of the side of my mouth. Psh, she elbowed me. That's all you, girl. The guy beside him is a different story, though. I didn't have a clue who she was referring to. The second our eyes connected, everyone around him had disappeared, just like in a cheesy romance movie. I licked my dry lips and nodded as she finished. Mr. Dreamy over there, though, only has eyes for Brooke. Who's Brooke? I whispered. The sharp burst of laughter that erupted from her lips stole my attention, and I ducked my head, grabbing the forgotten wine glass in front of me and draining it. Shit. I think I just had an out-of-body experience. Hopefully you'll have another one later tonight. Let's go talk to them. She scooped up her pile of chips and dumped them into her clutch, blowing kisses to the men at the table who let out disappointed grumbles at our departure. No, 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 I whisper-yelled as she dragged me by the arm to the group of guys. Mel, stop! We can't just... She gave me a gentle shove, and I teetered in my heels, careening right into the back of the Greek god himself. I was going to kill her for this later. That was, if I didn't die from embarrassment first. Mr. Dreamy turned. The confusion on his face vanished as his face split into a wide grin. His perfectly straight teeth gleaming, that dimple in his cheek becoming so deep that I wanted to get lost in it. Whoa. You okay? He asked, his deep voice.